Imagine if one company quietly became the most powerful financial force on Earth. Not louder than presidents, not richer than tech billionaires, but more connected to the system that actually controls everything. That company exists. It manages over $10 trillion. That's more than the GDP of almost every country on the planet. So does it own the world? Not exactly. BlackRock doesn't take over companies the way most people imagine. It doesn't storm boardrooms. It doesn't run secret meetings in the dark. Its power is much quieter than that. It works through structure. Every time you invest your money, maybe through a retirement account, maybe through an index fund, maybe through an ETF, you think you're just buying the market. But you're not buying individual companies directly. You're buying a basket, and someone else is holding that basket for you most of the time. That someone is BlackRock. Here's the part most people don't realize. When you buy an ETF, you don't get to vote on corporate decisions. BlackRock votes instead. Those votes decide real things. Executive pay packages. Board members. Mergers. Long-term strategy. Climate policies. Automation decisions. So, when you invested your money, you also handed over your voting power. Now zoom out. Look at the biggest companies in the world. Apple. Microsoft. Banks. Energy companies. Consumer brands. BlackRock shows up as one of the top shareholders almost everywhere. And here's where it gets more interesting. The same small group of firms, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, keep appearing together. They are often the largest shareholders in competing companies. Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Major airlines. Big banks. Car manufacturers. If the same investors sit above competing companies, are they truly competing, or are they optimizing for the same capital? And this still isn't BlackRock's most powerful tool. That would be something called Aladdin. Aladdin is a risk management system. It tracks trillions of dollars. It analyzes stocks, bonds, derivatives, entire portfolios. It's used by banks. Insurance companies, asset managers, and even governments. That means BlackRock doesn't just invest in the system. It sees the system. It sees how everything connects. Then in 2008, the global financial crisis hit. Markets collapsed. Credit froze. Confidence disappeared. Governments were overwhelmed. They didn't know how to price toxic assets. They didn't know how to stabilize the damage. So when the financial system began breaking, they turned to BlackRock. Not a politician. Not a celebrity CEO. An asset manager. BlackRock was hired to help manage crisis assets because it had the tools, because it had the visibility. And because it understood the structure. After the crisis, something else happened. Passive investing exploded. More people chose index funds because they were cheaper. Simpler. Easier. Money flowed in. Trillions of dollars. And all those shares came with voting rights. Millions of small investors, all combining into one centralized voting block. BlackRock doesn't need to own 51% of a company. Owning 7% across almost every major corporation is influence. You don't need control. You need leverage. When you influence incentives, companies respond, executives respond, markets respond, and incentives shape behavior. Behavior shapes policy. Policy shapes the economy. So no, BlackRock doesn't own the world, but it sits at the center of the financial web. It holds pieces of almost everything. It votes on decisions that shape corporate strategy. It manages risk for governments. It sees connections most people never notice. And the most important part, this power wasn't seized. It was built. Built by retirement accounts. Built by pension funds. Built by automatic paycheck contributions. Built by the rise of passive investing. Every deposit increased scale, and scale quietly became influence. The real question isn't whether BlackRock is evil. The real question is what happens when financial power becomes this centralized. Because this isn't just about one company. It's about how modern capitalism is structured. And now that you understand the structure, you can see the system differently.